What up guys, it's Jordan from FitAF. In today's video, we are going to go over why so many people fail at dieting, why so many people are unsuccessful in their attempts to lose weight, and what you should be doing to guarantee yourself success for the long term with your weight loss goals. If you're watching this video, there's a very good chance that you have tried to diet before. You may have lost a couple pounds, you may have lost a few pounds, but there's also a very good chance that you gain that weight back. You might be where you started. And then there's another good chance that you tried to diet again and you were either successful or it was harder this time to diet and you weren't successful. Many people repeat this process 2, 3, 4, 5 times or more. I've even been there. I've done this before. And this is the most common thing I see with clients coming to me trying to lose weight is they have tried multiple attempts to diet. Some successful, some not successful. In the long term, they were all unsuccessful because the person relapsed to their original weight. So being able to understand where people go wrong, why they don't lose the weight or why they can't sustain the weight they lose is probably the most important concept to understand for your own success in weight loss. Why do so many people fail at dieting? Well, there's a few reasons, but we will start with number one. There is a lot of bullshit on the internet. There is a lot of bullshit in your newspaper. There's a lot of bullshit in the media. And every week it seems that there is a new diet that promises to be a miracle cure for everything from weight loss to cancer to inflammation to all these things. And then the following week, that same diet is labeled as unhealthy, will cause cancer, and will come to your house and kick your baby. With so much contradicting information in the media, there's no wonder why people jump from one diet to another while seemingly making absolutely no progress and usually regressing. Now, if you look at the statistics, they're pretty sad and disappointing. After 1 year of dieting, 80% of people will relapse to their pre-diet weight. After 2 years, that number jumps to 85%, and after 3 years, 95% of people will relapse to their pre-diet weight, meaning only 5% of people are successful with their weight loss in the long term. If that wasn't depressing enough, 1/3 to 2/3, about 30 to 60% of those individuals who relapse to their pre-diet weight will actually gain more weight as a result of something called body fat overshooting. So clearly these diets are failing people. They are not allowing people to lose weight and keep that weight off long term. Now, why is this? And let me start by saying I have no issues with any of the mainstream nutrition strategies out there. Most of them are healthy. They do promote food quality, they promote exercise, they promote portion control, eating veggies. All these things that we know are good. However, the issue becomes with many of these diets that people think they need to follow one of these restrictive diet strategies in order to lose weight. They have this thought that because they watched a podcast with Joe Rogan talking about ketogenic diets, that is the best way to lose weight fast. This is not the case. There is, at this point, no strategy to lose weight that is superior. This has been tested in metabolic wards where they are controlling everything from what a person eats to the time they eat to exactly how much they eat and are measuring their caloric energy intake and their caloric energy expenditure. And there is nothing that favors any one of these diets. High carb, low fat, low carb, high fat, nothing proves to be superior at this point in time. That being said, that means you do not need to follow a ketogenic diet if you don't want to. You don't need to follow intermittent fasting if you don't want to. You don't need to not eat carbs. You don't need to stop eating past 8 p.m. What do you need to do? The only thing that's required to lose weight is for you to consume less energy than you expend. That's it. You have to consume or eat less calories than you burn. Now, this is almost too simple for people. People don't buy this. They're like, there has to be more. I've eaten clean and consumed less for years and I didn't lose weight. Eating clean does not mean you're gonna lose weight. Eating clean actually doesn't mean anything. There's no definition for what clean is. Now, for the most part, it means eating minimally processed food, lean proteins, veggies, starches, things like that. And if that's the case, awesome. However, that doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. You still have to watch your energy intake. You can eat clean and gain weight. If you're not monitoring your intake, you have no idea what you're consuming, so you have no idea how you can control what your body is doing. Let me paint this picture. If you know what you're consuming and you know what the scale is saying on a daily basis, wouldn't it make sense that because you know what the input is, what I'm consuming, and I know what the output is, what the scale says every day, I could change the input and get a different output. I can change how much I'm consuming and get a different output. This is the most measured and scientific way of looking at weight loss, and it's very simple. Now, if I'm following a ketogenic diet and I'm not losing weight, then which of my inputs can I change? Do I eat less carbs? No. If I'm fasting, what inputs could I change to get a different output? Do I fast even longer? No. And you could follow these strategies and be unsuccessful, but you're going to be unsuccessful because you have no idea what your intake is. No matter what nutrition strategy you follow, if you want to follow a ketogenic diet, fasting, paleo, Whole30, that's fine. All these diets work, and they work because they limit and restrict you from certain types of foods, certain macronutrients, certain ingredients, whatever it is. By doing that, they allow some people to more or less slip and fall into a calorie deficit. When you stop eating carbs, there's a good chance that you will consume less calories than you previously were. Not always though. Some people still consume tablespoons of peanut butter and think, oh, I'm not eating carbs, so I'm gonna lose fat. That is not the case. Same thing with fasting. They think, oh, as long as I don't eat from 8 p.m. to 12 noon the next day, I could eat whatever I want in that feeding window. That is not the case. The same rules still apply. Calories in versus calories out is the fundamental law for weight loss. So no matter what strategy you follow, you need to know what your intake is. You must have some sort of metric for what you're consuming. That way, when you step on the scale and it says 150 pounds and you've been at 150 pounds for the last 3 weeks, you know it's time to change one of the inputs. If you don't know what those inputs are, if you don't know your calories, your carbs, proteins, and fats, or any of that, there's no way for you to alter the output. There's no way for you to alter the results you're getting. Being as precise as you can with your nutritional intake is the key in losing weight and maintaining that weight loss long term. So clearly, I'm a huge fan of tracking macronutrients, where you're looking at how many grams of carbs, proteins, and fats you consume on a daily basis. This is, in my mind, the best way to do it. When I'm working with clients, I could see what they're consuming and I could see the results they're getting. And if the results aren't what we and the client want, I could easily make precise changes in the macronutrients that they're consuming and get the results that we want. And it's just like that. It's a quick fix. There's no, oh, I wonder if I'm eating too many carbs and insulin is causing me to store fat. There's none of that. This is a precise, measurable way to lose weight, and it is what most people do who have a solid foundation in nutrition and exercise physiology. So what does this involve? This involves looking at what I'm consuming. If you're following a ketogenic diet, that's fine. How many grams of fat are you eating though? How many grams of protein are you eating? You're still getting carbs in. How many grams of those are you eating? If you're seeing that you're still 150 pounds and you're 3 weeks into the diet, you need to change something. Something is clearly not working. You need to change the input to get a different output. If you have no idea what the input is and all you know is that I'm not eating that many carbs, you're not going to be able to change the output. You're going to say, oh, I must have to eat less carbs. And that's not the case. If you're fasting and you're following a 16-8 fasting protocol and you're still at 150 pounds 3 weeks later, then you need to change the input. Is the input to fast for a longer period of time? No. The input is to consume less energy or start expending more energy, usually a combination of the two. Now, I have a full video on how to put together a completely customized macronutrient weight loss plan for you in my YouTube channel. I will put a link to it below. Really just want to get across that this process does not have to be complicated. It does not have to be full of anxiety. It does not have to be constant second guessing if you're making progress, if you're on the right track, if you screwed up your diet because you ate this. None of that needs to be involved. If you are tracking your macronutrients, that takes away everything because you know that you are following exactly what you need to do to get the result you want. And if you're not getting the result that week, you simply make a couple adjustments in your macros, follow that for another week, and hey, you get the results you want. So that's all I got. Hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys later.